come and fight me one-on-one. If you believe in heaven, then come out and fight me. Because if I kill you, you go to heaven. And if you kill me, you go to heaven. So let's see which one of Muhammad's army. I think this is one of the best questions any human has ever asked. Wallah, it's one of the best questions any human's ever asked. Amr ibn Uwayd caught hold of the whole plan. He's looking at some of the guys he knew when he was a kid in Arabia. Yes? He's looking at them, he say, hold on, you claim to love Muhammad, come out and fight me. Because if you claim that this heaven that he believes in is there, if I kill you, you're going there. And if you kill me, you're going there. Amr ibn Uwayd knew those around Muhammad, there are people who don't have a single inch of belief in him at all. I'm telling you, he saw the plan from a mile away. He said, come out and fight. None came out. Second time, come out. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib wants to go. Rasulullah says, wait. Why wait? I don't want anyone having an excuse later that they wanted to go, but Ali went. True? Because someone can tell her later, say, I was going up, but he chose Ali. Once, twice, Amr ibn Uwayd said, I'm surprised by all of you. You all claim to love Muhammad? You're scared of hell or heaven or what? Come out and fight me. Rasulullah said, Ali? He said, Ya Rasulullah, let me come out and fight him. When they came out, he looked at him, he said, what's your name? He said, I am Ali, son of Abu Talib. He said, I will not kill you then. He said, why? He said, your father was a good friend of mine. Imam Ali replied to him, but I would love to kill you because you're an enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Muslims are watching on with this. They know if Ali ibn Abi Talib dies today, all of them are finished because Amr ibn Uwayd will pierce through them. Ali ibn Abi Talib does three things before he fights you in any battle. Research any of his battles. There's three things he says to you before war. The first thing he always says to you before war, leave this idol worship. If this is the fight with the mushrik, he says, leave this. This idol worship will not benefit you. Worship Allah. Do not put partners to Allah. First, he puts the hujjah on them. Amr ibn Uwayd said, no. He said, okay, Amr ibn Uwayd. Imam then mentions a line Imam al-Hussein mentioned on the 10th of Muharram. If you don't believe in God or the Day of Judgment, be a free human. Ahl al-Bayt always use this line, correct? If you don't believe in God, you don't believe in the Day of Judgment, be a free human, don't fight me. And don't fight them. Go back to your families. I'm not asking you to worship Allah. You said no. I'm saying to be a free human being. No. He said, very well. Then you strike me first and the battle begins. I will not strike you first. So that no one can ever say, the son of Abu Talib began war. This is the dignity of Ali. Wallah, there is no human being with dignity like this. This man in front of you has come out with all arrogance. First you invite him to Allah, he rejects. Then you say, be a free human, he rejects. Then you say to him, strike me first. I cannot bear to strike you first. I don't want to start a war. Which human being has this dignity? Wallah al-azim. Which human being? Which human being? Amr ibn Uwayd whispered something to him just before the war began. He said, come here. Began whispering. They both nodded at each other. They took a few steps back. The war began. When it began, the Muslim can't see what's happening. Why? Because so much of the sand and the dust is going up that you can't see. The first thing they saw, which was clear to them, Amr ibn Uwayd with a lethal blow on Ali ibn Abi Talib's helmet, it broke it in half. So Amr ibn Uwayd is not a joke. Amr ibn Uwayd is a warrior of warriors. Blood coming down from Ali ibn Abi Talib's head all the way down. When Ibn Muljam struck him, Imam said, the only reason they managed to kill Ali on that day because he struck him on the same area Amr ibn Uwayd hit him. So the wound went deeper. If it had been anywhere else, he would have been ready for him. He had struck him, this broke, bleeding. Now the Muslims are certain, that's it, Ali is gone. Then a few seconds later, Ali comes out, walks away, comes back in, they're not sure. The fighting continues. This wasn't a 1-minute battle, by the way. This is pure swordsman skills. But this is a 25-year-old in his pomp, yes? 26-year-old in his pomp, absolutely vicious. They're fighting each other, comes out, And he stands with the head and he shouts to the Muslims, Allahu Akbar. He had defeated him. Yes? He returns back to the front lines of the Muslims. The first thing Rasulullah says, the whole of Iman went out to fight the whole of Kufr. Yes? Please, let's have another Nara Haydari. Iman versus Shirk, correct? The whole of Iman has come out to fight the whole of Shirk. When he says the whole of Iman, it means every trait of a mu'min is immersed in Ali ibn Abi Talib. There is nothing but infallibility in this human being, yes? The whole of Iman has fought the whole of Shirk. Rasulullah then said a second thing. What was it? He said the strike of Ali on this day is greater than the worship of every human and jinn until the day of judgment. Yes? There is no strike like the strike of Khandaq. Why? Not because it was hard. It's because the sincerity behind that strike cannot be equaled by a human being from then until the day of judgment. Yes? Imagine this line, the strike of Ali at Khandaq is greater than the worship of every human and jinn. And they ask me, why do you believe he splits heaven and hell? Then what do you think Allah gives him on the day of judgment? Yes? Ali ibn Abi Talib, his strike on the day of Khandaq, greater than the worship of every human and jinn until the day of judgment. Ali ibn Abi Talib, the whole of Iman, fought the whole of Shirk, all on one occasion, yes? You found therefore he returned. The Muslims now, all of a sudden, everybody shouts out being brave. Correct or no? Before, what had happened? Before, your eyes are dull. Your heart is up to your throat. You're doubting Allah. When the son of Abu Talib brings you victory, all of you begin to say, La ilaha illallah. Correct? I ask one question. If you tell me he was brave, I never saw him once at Badr or Uhud or Khandaq or Khaybar ever do anything brave for the religion of Islam. And that's why I defy those who tell me after Rasulullah died, X and Y and Z were the bravest warriors. Show me one person they killed in war, I will follow them. Yes? Never! Badr, Ali. Uhud, Ali. Khandaq, Ali. And we haven't even started with battles yet, yes? We haven't even started, because when it comes to Khaybar, then there's no point anyone being mentioned alongside Ali ibn Abi Talib, yes? Therefore, you found he returned. Ammar ibn Awid's sister, where was she? She was on the other side. She used to sit down. They used to bring this barbecue and feast and so on. And she was sitting down with the rest of the people. When she was sitting down with the rest of the people, while she was sitting down, she was eating, and someone came to her, said, we have some sad news to give you. She said, what is it? Said, your brother's been killed. She said, that's impossible. Said, yes, he's been killed. Said, that's impossible. My brother doesn't get defeated. She said, which lion killed my brother? That's her line. Which lion killed my brother? They said to a young man, Ali, son of Abu Talib. She begins to cry. She then stands up. She says, take me to my brother's body, please. They take her. She's crying all the way. She sits by her brother's body. She's crying, and then she stands up, turns around to everyone, begins to smile. She begins to smile. They look at her and say, why are you smiling? She said, I'm honored the son of Abu Talib killed my brother. They said, so what do you mean? She said, we have a tradition in our family. Before war begins, my brother whispers something to the ear of the opposition. He says to him, I have jewelry on my armor which belongs to the family heritage. If you are to kill me, be honorable and don't take the jewelry that belongs to my family. She said, what an honorable young man the son of Abu Talib is. If anyone else in Muhammad's army was there, they would have looted my brother's body. But the son of Abu Talib is a chivalrous human being. I'm honored the son of Abu Talib killed my brother. Imagine that line. Wallah, it's an honor when we hear Ya Ali in the crowd of the lovers of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Yes? His enemy says, I'm honored. Her brother's just been killed, blood everywhere. I'm honored. So they asked, what is it that made you walk away and come back in? He said, Ammar ibn Nawid was on the ground. I was about to strike him, he spat at me. And I never strike a human who angers me. So I walked away. So I'm in control of myself. Reassessing my niyyah. Is it for the ego of Ali or for the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When I walked away, I realized this is for the service of Allah. Had I struck him when he spat at me, he would have defeated me even though I killed him. But when I walk away and I come back and strike him, then the whole of my strike is in service to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Phenomenal. When they saw this, they realized. Then all of a sudden, a hurricane overtook them. The Quran mentions it, Surah 33 verse 9. A hurricane seized them. The pagans started fighting the Jews. The Jews fighting Abu Sufyan. The whole of the 10,000 start fighting each other. Yes? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He wants to, can make their enemies fight one another. Yes? Allah can cause dissension within their ranks. They began to fight one another, and then they left the scene, defeated Abu Sufyan, full of frustration. How does the son of Abu Talib destroy us again on this day? It was for certain that Ammar ibn Nawid, 10,000 people surely will win. But you planned and we planned, and Allah is the greatest of planners. Allah planned for the Muslims to have victory on the day of Khandaq. And everybody ran to Ali, kissing him on his forehead. I don't know how many times they tell Ali, Bakhin, 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 but their whole life is Bakhin at the end, stab in the back. Yes? The whole of their life, Bakhin, 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 Bakhin. How many more congratulations do you want to give Ali ibn Abi Talib? Habib, what is this? Award ceremony? All we're asking you is to follow him. They came, they congratulated. Others came and said, Salman, where is Salman? And what a blessing Salman is in our life, correct? Some of the Muhajirun said, Salman belongs to us. And the Ansar said, Salman belongs to us. And Rasulullah said, Salman is from us, Ahlul Bayt. Yes? You can't claim him, and nor can you claim him. Salman is from us. That's why Rasulullah said Iman has 10 levels. Salman is on the 10th of the 10 of those levels. Salman al-Muhammadi, the display he gave. Ali ibn Abi Talib, the display he gave, were displays that would merit recognition for many years to come. Yes? And the lessons from the Battle of Khandaq are phenomenal. First lesson, unite all of you. You may be able to be strong against the opposition. Abu Sufyan tried to unite everyone because he thought, you know what, our common enemy, likewise the followers of Ahlul Bayt, instead of bickering with each other, one Jama'at likes another, one Maulana hates another, one this likes, one... Why don't you unite? There's a common enemy out there. If we're disunited, we'll never achieve victory. Number two, the bravery of Ali on that day. The valor that he's the only one who was willing to come out even though there were men older than him. You would think that the Muslims would honor this victory at Khandaq, yes? You would think that the Muslims would look after Ali and his family forever. You would think the Muslims would honor them forever, protect them in their hearts. You found, unfortunately, the Muslims, instead of honoring Al-Muhammad, 50 years or so after the Battle of Khandaq, chained up the daughters of Al-Muhammad. Yes? You would think that Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Muslims would love him forever for what he did on the day of Khandaq. Yes? You would think that they'd honor what he had achieved on that day. Instead, his daughters Zainab and Kulthum walked through the bazaar in Sham. Many times in my life, I looked for where is Khandaq mentioned after Khandaq. I found one hadith where Khandaq was mentioned after Khandaq. Where? When Sayyidah Zainab and Kulthum came into Sham, yes, on the 1st of Safar. The first thing Kulthum said to Shimr bin Dil-Jawshan, she said to him, oh Shimr, can you do us a favor? He said, what is it? She said, do you mind allowing us to enter from different gates in Sham? Because we're not used to so many men staring at us in this way, yes? And then she said, number two, can you cover the cloak? Can you cover the heads of Hussein, the heads of Abbas, the heads of Ali al-Akbar? He looked at her, he said to her, Kulthum, I'll make you all enter from the same gate. So every man sees you in this hijab now. And then he said to her, secondly, I will not cover Abbas and Hussein. I'll make their heads in front of you when you walk through the bazaar, yes? As Sayyidah Zainab, she says, as we were coming to the bazaar, I heard someone screaming, these are the daughters of the man who defeated your grandfathers at Khandaq. She said, as soon as I heard this, I knew they were going to take out their oppression. She said, I saw a man throw boiling water on the head of Zayn al-Abidin, yes? She said, I saw a man come and whip Ruqayya and Sukaina as they were walking. She said, I saw the chains on Zayn al-Abidin's neck cutting through him, yes? She said, then we were taken to the prisons of Sham. She said, while in the prisons, this young daughter of Imam al-Hussein, she kept on calling out, I want to see my father, I want to see my father. She said, I would come to her, may Allah allow us to return to Ruqayya in Sham. Ya Allah, let us go back to the grave of Bibi Ruqayya. She said that the young daughter of Imam al-Hussein, she would keep telling us, where is my father? And we would reply, your father is on a long journey. She said, I want to see him, I want to see him. And then Sayyidah Zainab would say to her, calm down, you will see him soon. Until in the middle of the night, Sayyidah Zainab says, after they had attacked us, after they had oppressed us, she said in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, Ruqayya woke up. She saw Abu Abdullah in her dream. She called out, I want to see my father, Abu Abdullah. Said all of a sudden, Yazid had been woken up by her scream. His soldiers came to him. Yazid looked at the soldiers. He said, what is the scream? They said, it's the daughter of Hussein, the young girl. He said to them at this moment, what does she want? They replied to him, she wants to see her father. He said, very well, then let her see her father. They placed the head of Abu Abdullah in a plate and they took it towards the prisons of Sham. Ruqayya was crying next to Sayyidah Zainab. All of a sudden the soldier came. Ruqayya called out, I want to see my father, Abu Abdullah. At this moment the soldier offered her the plate. She looked towards him. She said to him, but I'm not hungry. I want to see my father, Abu Abdullah. The soldier looked towards. They said to her, I know you're not hungry. Open it. She removed the cover and she saw the holy head of Abu Abdullah in front of her. Allahu Akbar. The words she said break the heart of every lover of Ahlul Bayt. Oh my father who covered your beard with all that blood. Oh my father who severed your head from your body. Oh my father who was there for the orphans after you. She fell at this moment. Imam Zayn al-Abidin looked at Sayyidah Zainab. He said to her, Zainab, inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. She said to what is he said, Ruqayya has died at this moment. At that moment, they all fell upon her, yes? One of the ladies of Yazid's palace took Ruqayya. She took her to go and perform her ghusl. But she came back to Sayyidah Zainab. She said, Zainab, there's a problem. She said, what is it? She said, I don't think I can do the ghusl on this girl. She said, why? She said, because this girl seems ill. I don't want to touch her body. She said to her, what do you mean ill? She said, I see lots of blue marks on her body. Zainab said, that's not illness. That's the whips of Shimar bin Dil Jawshan on the body of Ruqayya.